Good morning and welcome back to Withrow Urban Homestead. Today's April 20th. Happy Easter! It's time to sow our eggplant. It's 10 days before our last frost, and normally I sow my eggplant in the basement furnace room under lights early February because I like big, strong plants to plant out into the garden to survive the flea beetles. But this year, I want to try winter sowing the eggplant, and I'm following the Maryland Extension Office schedule, and they recommend sowing your summer veggies in April. And we're kind of late. We're near the end of April, but we're going to go ahead and give it a try. I'm using Pro Mix organic garden potting soil. I've already mixed it with water, but you can use any potting soil. But go ahead and have it wet before you sow your seeds. I like it comes in a compressed bale with a handle. It's really easy to store in the garage. Eggplant loves heat, and that's why I germinate it on heat mats in the warm furnace room. It germinates at temperatures 70 to 80 degrees. You'll hear it germinates in 10 to 20 days, but last year mine germinated in 7 days. We're going to leave this little greenhouse out in the garden. Some days are going to be warm, some days are going to be cool. So I don't know how long it's going to take to germinate. Since we tape up this jug, it'll be a little mini greenhouse, and normally the temperatures are 20 degrees hotter inside of it than the air temperature. You want to plant your eggplant out 2 to 4 weeks after your last frost because it doesn't like the cold. It doesn't like nighttime temperatures under 60. Like I said, it loves the heat. We're 10 days away from our last frost, April 30th. I tend to plant mine out not before Mother's Day. It's really better to wait to the very last week of May. I think 2 years ago, I bought the seeds from Baker Creek. It's a 1902 heirloom variety of Black Beauty. It grows about 24 to 30 inches tall. And the fruit's about 5 to 6.5 inches big, about that size. I've been growing it for a few years and saving my own seeds. So these are my own safe seeds. Oops. It took me several years to finally figure out how to save eggplant seeds. You have to leave the first fruit of one of the plants from the very beginning, you just leave it the whole season, and it will eventually change to a yellow color. That's when it's fully ripe and the seeds inside are viable. I love saving my own seeds. I expect if these germinate, they're going to be small. I really like good big size eggplant, like I said, because of the flea beetles. They just munch small seedlings down. A good size plant can survive them, but not a small one. But last year, for the first time, I protected them with netting, and it really helped. There was so much less flea beetle damage. So I'm hoping if they're small and I plant them under netting, they'll survive. We'll see. They're tiny seeds, so don't drown them with soil. Just lightly cover them, pat them in. So about 1/4 of an inch deep. Put 3 seeds together, and I can always thin them out if more germinated. I just want to give them a chance. And you want to put your eggplant in full sun. Eggplant love the heat, remember, and they love full sun. They will not produce properly in the shade. They do, though, make beautiful purple flowers. I used to plant way too many eggplant and too close together, and the fruit would struggle. I've learned it's better to space them 18 to 24 inches apart. So I only plan to plant 10 eggplant. Last year I started harvesting early August. I love my eggplant. Oh, fresh eggplant is delicious. And if you're going to preserve eggplant in the freezer, you need to roast it first. Because raw eggplant, it doesn't freeze well. Now let's lightly cover the seeds with soil and pat it in good. And the soil's already wet, so I don't plan to water these. It's Easter, so there's been constant church bells ringing all morning. You want to tape up your jug and make sure it has drainage holes. And you want to make sure the top is off. And you can use a milk jug, water jug, soda bottle. This is a water jug. And painter's tape isn't the best to use on the jug, so I don't think it'll last. This is going to be need to stay out in the garden probably a month minimum. So I'm using duct tape. These leave sharp edges. to the hard plastic like this container, the tape sticks better. The white milk jug, they're thinner, and it's harder to get the tape to stick. It tends to leave gaps, and make sure there's no gaps because your moisture will escape. And in the jugs that I recently opened for our spring veggies, the sharp edges I showed you where I cut and where I drilled the hole to get the scissors in there, it cut me. So using 2 pieces of tape is better. It's easier to get off than one long piece of tape because it's so sticky. And wear gloves when you pull the tape off. Now let's get this out into the garden. We're just going to leave it there. And it's going to take care of itself, and when it hits the right temperature, it'll germinate. The tomatoes that we sowed April 4th, about 2 weeks ago, they've already germinated. But the sweet peppers, they haven't germinated yet. And we sowed them April 7th. And since I started this in February, the temperature, the highest it's gotten inside these jugs has been 118, and the lowest it has gotten inside the jugs has been 10 degrees Fahrenheit. But all of the spring veggies and flowers, they're all open, hardening off. Yesterday I opened these for the first time. And the kale and onions have already been planted. These are their 5th day of hardening off. And the next thing to be planted is the red cabbage. Every year, I give free sunflowers to the community. About 200 seedlings. And this year, I'm trying to sow them and germinate them outside in trays, not in the house like I normally do. Because my husband is having a liver transplant next month, and I have been busy getting ready, cleaning the house, cooking and freezing food, converting the first floor so it has a bedroom for recovery. And I don't have time to take care of seedlings in the house or bring them in and out to harden off. So I'm trying a winter sowing type of germination for the sunflowers. And we'll see if it works. Come back and check the progress of our winter sown eggplant. Thank you for visiting Withrow Urban Homestead. See you later. Bye-bye.